Hello Explorers, Kid Explorer here, and today I'm here to talk about hot travel destinations for 2023. So of course, it is a new year. Happy New Year, if I haven't already told you. But of course, every year I have to give you my recommendations of places you should travel to during this year. And also I'm going to tell you a little bit about my travel plans for 2023. So let's get into today's video. And of course, like I said, I'm Keita Explorer, and here on my channel I talk about all things travel and sustainability. So make sure you subscribe. It is free for you to do so. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. Now let's get into today's video. So first up, I'm going to talk about the hot travel destinations for 2023. I have 5 different locations that I'm going to recommend for 2023. I mean, anywhere you can go on the globe that is not under civil unrest or anything like that, I recommend going if you can, because the world is your oyster. But I'm going to recommend these 5 different locations based on different reasons, which I'll talk about when I introduce the location. So first up, Australia. This summer, the Women's World Cup will be held in Australia and New Zealand. But Australia has so much to offer and has a variety of landscapes to see within the country. Western Australia has its own vibe and Eastern Australia has its own vibe. And if you're coming from out of the country, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna fly into Sydney or Melbourne, Australia. And since you're flying into the eastern part of the country, I highly recommend seeing a lot of the wonderful sites, such as going to Sydney, going to Bondi Beach. You could go up to Cairns, and at Cairns you can actually go out to Port Douglas, where they have a wonderful rainforest area, as well as go to the Great Barrier Reef. But make sure the company you choose for the Great Barrier Reef is ecologically friendly, so you do not harm the environment when you go out to the reef, because reefs are very sensitive to a lot of different things, especially with climate change. Also, if you can, go into the Great Outback. You can do that by going to Alice Springs. You can go out and see palm trees in the middle of the desert. And also you get to see a little bit of the Aboriginal people, but do not go and take pictures of them like they're an exhibit. They are people that they're living, but you'll see more of the Aboriginal people, which is like Native Americans in the US. That's their native population of people in Australia, the Aboriginals. So definitely check out those areas. Melbourne, I didn't see much when I went there. It's definitely a place you could check out. I didn't see much because when I went, it was April and it was already cold, because obviously that part of the world is winter in our summertime. So it was too cold and I was like, nah, no. If you're going out to the World Cup, definitely check out other parts of Australia while you're visiting there for the Women's World Cup this summer. Next up, let's talk about Turkey. Turkey's been getting a lot of spotlight, and it seems like they're doing a lot to attract people to come visit. But Turkey is a wonderful country. You can go to 2 continents in one when you visit Turkey. And you can actually do it just by visiting Istanbul. Istanbul is a must. If you're in Turkey, you're going to probably fly into Istanbul if you're coming from out of the region. And Istanbul is lovely. So many different foods that you can try and eat. I love the Turkish pizza. I mean, shish kebabs, all types of stuff you can try. And don't forget to try the Turkish coffee, because it's delicious. But make sure you have it early, because that coffee is strong and it will keep you up until the next day if you get the right type of coffee. But if you're in Turkey, you can visit a lot of different places. Obviously, if you're in Turkey, you can go on a cruise of the Bosphorus River, and on each side of the river is different continents. So you have Europe on one side and Asia on the other. But you could also go to other places outside of Istanbul, like Cappadocia, which is a place I went. That's where you see a lot of the hot air balloons there. But just don't check out the hot air balloons and do that. Go up in a balloon or take photos of it. They also have an underground city where forever ago, people used to go down in the underground city to hide from different types of wars. So they have that and a lot of different other cultural things you can check out in Cappadocia. Next up, I'm going to bring in a location that is within the United States, which is Asheville. Asheville is a smaller city in the southeastern part of the United States, but it's definitely a relaxing, wonderful vibe, and you'll probably have a lot of wine there. And of course, you get to go to the Biltmore. And I actually believe I was watching someone's video and that Biltmore, it was just selected to be a part of a Hallmark movie. But the Biltmore is considered a castle or palace within the United States, and it is wonderful. You can go there, you can go on a tour of that mansion and see what the Vanderbilts had built with their home, go out to their gardens. You can also go to the winery there, and you'll find a lot of wine throughout Asheville, because there's also a lot of wine bars within downtown Asheville. And also it's within the mountains, so if you want to go out to the Blue Ridge Mountains and see some landscape and have peace with nature, that's there as well. Another place that I recommend visiting is Italy. Italy is wonderful. Italy has multiple points of entry if you're flying from out of the country, like Rome, it has Venice, it has Milan. So it has a lot of different places you can enter. I entered through Rome, and that was my base point that I stayed for the entire time when I went. But I highly recommend seeing Rome because of all the historic pieces like the Colosseum. If you're in Italy, you just might as well go there. But there's so many options you can see. You can go up to Tuscany, which I highly recommend doing. The food is delicious in Tuscany. Olive oil was created in that part of the world, and also they have some delicious red wines that come from the Tuscany region, especially Montepulciano, which is a small town within Tuscany. But if you want to go to other regions, you could just hop on their train, and the train will take you there. You could go up to Venice and just take the train from Rome and go to Venice for a day. But Venice does have a tourist entry fee now, and Venice can be very overpopulated when tourists are there. It's lovely, but there's like environmental issues going on because of the water. Certain times of the year, the water will rise up and flood the town square in Venice. And also it's just so crowded and there's no cars or anything. So if you're not mobile, it's not really good for you to go because there's a lot of stairs and cobblestones and tight alleyways to get through in Venice. There's other places you can go in Italy. You can go up to Milan, where there's a lot of fashion. There's a wonderful lake there called Lake Como, where you can go out to visit. You could go down to the Isle of Capri. There's just so many things you can see while in Italy. Lastly, if you would like some island vibes, I highly recommend going to Bermuda. Now, when you go to Bermuda, save and budget properly because Bermuda is quite expensive. If you can avoid staying at a resort there, definitely do it. Try to find an Airbnb. It may save you a little bit of money because the resort I stayed in was quite costly. But Bermuda is beautiful. They have a pink sand beach, which is, Horseshoe Bay Beach, I believe was the name of it. Beautiful beach. Water is magnificently colored. You also have wonderful food when you go out to different places. While in Bermuda, they don't have fast food chains, or I should say they don't have US fast food chains in Bermuda, so that's wonderful. You can go over to the harbor where you can see a lot of tourist shops in that area. That's usually where the cruise ships come in. They have a ferry to get around, they have a bus to get around, which is fairly affordable. They have different shops in the Hamilton area of Bermuda. They have Crystal Caves, and you can go over to St. George. They have cute little shops there, but the beaches are magnificent in Bermuda, and that's where you can spend a lot of time getting your beach vibes, getting nice drinks, as well as mingling with the locals and shopping around when you're in Bermuda. Now let's talk about my travel plans for 2023. A travel plan that is coming up for me very soon is a staycation here in Atlanta. I'll be staying at one of our new hotels in the city and just having a nice night there, having a nice dinner, and being in a different part of the city. So that will be coming up soon here on my channel to share with you. Next up on my list is Aruba. Aruba will be a magnificent trip. I haven't been there before, and it's an island. I mean, obviously it's still some distance away, but closer since I'm in the southeastern part of the US. So I'll be flying there, spending some time there. I haven't planned it yet, so I won't be able to share with you all of my plans until I go to Aruba and finish planning the trip. But I can't wait to get on an island and enjoy a beach, okay? As always, I go back to my hometown of Cleveland. I don't always record there, or most times I don't record because I'm usually with family and friends and just taking this time back. I may take some photos, may do a little bit of shorts, reels or something like that, but usually I go there to relax and just spend time with loved ones. But I'll be going to Cleveland multiple times this year, as always. And then also I do plan to go to Europe. One of my big plans in Europe is to take a wine river cruise through France. So that will be amazing. I'm not a big cruise person, but the only cruises the only cruise I have been on was is in the ocean with the big Carnival cruise line. So taking a river cruise and staying on a river cruise in this wine theme will be quite interesting. And so I'm really excited about that and learning about the wines of the different regions in France, because France does have great wines. And also I have not fully planned out everything that I want to do in Europe when I go there, but I do really want to hop on a train and go to Portugal. I've heard so many great things about the country, so I would love to get there and get away from France a little bit. So I will have more about that when that time comes, so make sure you're subscribed and you hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when all of those videos come out this year and beyond. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed these recommendations. Like I said, these are 5 places that I recommend for this year because of different events or different special meetings, and or just great food, great vibes, great time. But obviously, like I said, anywhere in the world that you can go that's not under civil unrest or, is safe for you to go, I definitely recommend to do your research before going to see if it's a place you would like to go. And I hope you do stay tuned so you can see what I have in store and what I share with you for 2023. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video and recommendations. And if you did, make sure you hit that like button. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It is free for you to do so, and it helps me provide more and better content to you in the future. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to share with me some things you have planned for 2023 in your travels, leave that down below in the comment box. And make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and your social media networks. If you enjoyed this video and would like to leave me a little tip to just support my channel or to help me buy a cup of tea or whatever it may be, you can hit the thanks button down below, or you can go check out my travel merchandise store, which will be linked down below as well, so you can become this exploring queen or king that you are. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are. Bye.